You ask your toddler to do one simple thing. You ask again. By the fifth time, they finally look up and go, huh? Ignored by a person who's 3 feet tall? Here's what nobody tells you before preschool. Your toddler probably does listen at home. And that's exactly the problem. Because at school, the teacher says it once across the room to 12, 13, 14 other kids, and your child misses it. That's the gap. Stick with me. I'll show you how to close it before the first day using the directions you already give. I'm Cherie, a former teacher and a mom. Let me show you a real morning, and I'll be honest because this was me too. It's 7:50. If you like me, I'm running late already. You need shoes on. So from the kitchen, you say it. Put your shoes on. Nothing. They keep playing. So you say it again a little louder. Shoes, let's go. Still nothing. So you walk over, and now there's an edge on your voice. I've asked you twice, put your shoes on. And they still don't move. So finally, you say the thing you swore you would never say. If your shoes aren't on by the time I count to 3, no tablet in the car. And the threat, that's what finally works. And you buckle them in and you feel like the bad guy because you didn't want to threaten your own kid over a pair of shoes, especially not before 8 a.m. And the question creeps in, is something wrong with my child? Hear me on this. It's not you, and your toddler is not broken. Because here's what's actually happening. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your toddler can hear from the kitchen. They heard put your shoes on the very first time, but they've learned something. The first ask doesn't really count. The one that counts is the one where mom finally means it. So they tune out the early ask just wait for the real one. You don't do anything wrong. That's just what they've learned. To your toddler, a direction isn't real until you've worked your way up to it. Now, picture the first morning of preschool. 12, 13 kids, one room. The teacher claps twice and say, "Friends, backpacks in the cubby, then come sit on the carpet." She says it once from across the room to everybody at the same time. And she does not work her way up to it. That's not how a classroom works. So your bright, capable kid who knows exactly what a backpack and a cubby are just stands there waiting for the real instruction. That's never coming. The teacher already gave it. Your kid just didn't know that one counted. That's the gap. And right now, it's like a loose thread on a sweater, teeny, easy to ignore. But pull it through one busy week of school and it unravels into something a lot bigger. So we snip it now while it's small because following a direction the first time is the one skill that decides how the first week goes. And I know the worries sitting underneath all of this because preschool is coming and it's coming fast. And you might be thinking, is my baby even ready? They still seem so little. Everybody says school is so much harder now. Can they even cope? So let me tell you what's really at stake. In those first few weeks, every kid gets a reputation, whether you like it or not. And the kid who keeps missing directions get the worst one. He doesn't listen. She doesn't listen. The teacher says it at pickup, it goes in a note home, and it isn't even true. Your child listens beautifully. They just learned the rules of a different room, the one at home. But the label doesn't care about the truth. And it's not only the label. A kid who misses the directions misses the learning attached to them all year long. The teacher says, everybody grab your counting sticks. And your child is still waiting for someone to come tell them personally while the lesson moves on without them. Miss enough of those and they start to fall behind. And that's the part that costs you later. And it costs you in tutoring, it costs you in catching up to fix what a couple of weeks right now would have prevented. But here's the part that gets me the most. I was a middle school teacher and I met the kid at the very end of that label. They were 12 or 13 or 14 years old who had heard their own name said in that tone, sharp and tired, annoyed, frustrated, tens of thousands of times since preschool. And maybe you were that kid. Maybe you know exactly what it feels like to be called the one who doesn't listen. When really you were just a kid nobody had set up to win. If that's you, I see you. And I promise you, this is not happening to yours because we close this in the weeks before school starts and it costs you nothing but the directions you were already given. And it's genuinely just three small changes. The third one is the one almost every parent skips, and it's the one that locks the whole thing in. So stay with me. I also put the plan in writing for you, my free guide, the preschool checklist, to make sure your child is ready for the first day and to make sure you are ready too. It's the first link in the description. Grab it now so it's wide open as I walk you through this. So here's the relief: no games, no flashcards, nothing extra added to your day. You're already giving your toddler 10, 15, 20 directions a day. It could be shoes on, cup in the sink, toys in the bin, come and eat. Those are actually your practice. We're just going to change how you deliver them. So the first ask becomes the one that actually counts. Here's the 3-step move: step back, say it once, notice the first time. Step one, step back. Give your normal everyday directions, but from a little distance, like a teacher would. So, from across the kitchen, from the next room, you can say, put your cup in the sink, bring me your shoes. It's the same direction you were already going to give. You're just getting them to catch the one that comes from across the room, like a teacher would. Say it once, the way it actually comes at school. So you're going to start close and then stretch the distance as they get it. Step two, say it once, then make it count. Say it one time, plain, like you mean it. Then wait. Give them a few seconds because little brains need a little beat. What you do not say is say it 5 times, each one getting louder, working your way up to an actual threat, because that's exactly what teaches them the early acts don't count. They learn to wait for the big one, for the threat. So instead, you say it once and then you calmly make sure it happens. No re asking, no counting to three, no or else. Same thing we do as teachers. I shouldn't have to say it twice for a line to form or a classroom to move, and the stop sign in the parking lot only gets said once. One time and it counts. That's the whole skill. And it's also what ends the threatening, the guilt cycle, because you never have to actually escalate again. Step three, notice the first time. This is the step almost everyone skips, and it's the one that locks it all in. When your toddler listens the first time you said it, tell them simple and warm, you listen the first time. Good job. Because that's the part you're teaching. And here's why it works. Think about which ask get your energy right now. It's the last one, isn't it? The edge, the threat, the big one. All of your attention goes to the moments they finally listen after all of that. So flip it. From tonight on, listening the first time is the thing that gets noticed out loud in your house. And watch how fast they start chasing it. If this is opening your eyes, subscribe. Every week, I show you one more gap like this and exactly how to close it. That's the whole channel. And here's what these 3 changes actually buys you. And I'll keep the timeline honest. You'll say, "Bring me your shoes," from the next room once. And you'll hear little feet moving, not working your way up to it, not threatening anymore. At home, that means fewer repeats for you. It means calmer mornings and no more feeling like you're the bad guy, no more of that guilt. And within those 2 weeks before school, the whole thing eases into something you can finally breathe through. But watch where it really pays off. First week of preschool, the teacher claps twice, backpacks and cubbies, and your kid moves. First time. And let me tell you, as a former teacher, we noticed that immediately within days. The first thing the teacher knows about your child is the kid is with me. The kid listens. That's the kid who gets the good note home. That's the kid who gets picked to be the line leader, the table washer, the kid who isn't labeled, who keeps up instead of actually falling behind. And inside, your child learns the most important thing a kid can believe in a classroom. I know what to do here. The confidence follows them into kindergarten and into every grade after that. And you'll drop them off the first morning and just know you got them ready. Not an app, not luck, you. That feeling is the whole reason I do this. So here it is. One more time. Step back, say it once, notice the first time. That's how the listening gap closes. And listening is just one of the 5 gaps that decide how those first weeks of school feel for your kid. I put all 5 in my free guide, the preschool checklist. There's a 5-minute check inside that tells you exactly which gap is your kid's and the simple plan for each one. Click the first link in the description, grab it. You're going to use it tonight. And I'll always keep it honest with you. They are still a toddler. Some days you'll do everything right and they'll look at you and they'll keep playing. That's not the gap. That's not the gap. That's a toddler testing you. And that's a whole different thing with a different fix. And I won't promise you the repeating disappears completely in a week. It eases fast, but they're little, and little is messy. This was never about a perfect kid. It's about making sure that when your baby walks into the classroom, the directions can actually reach them and count. And it'll be done before the first day. So tonight, 2 things. At dinner, run the 5-minute check in the guide. 5 quick questions, and you'll know your kid's one gap by bedtime. Then give one direction from across the room, just one. It may be put your cup in a sink. It may be come to dinner. Just give one direction once. If they don't move, calmly go over there and make sure it happens. No re-asking, no more threats. And the first time they do it on their own, tell them, "You listened the first time. Good job." Watch their little face lighten up. That's the skill being born. And you did it with a cup and a quick sentence once. Now, getting them to follow the directions is the first piece of being preschool ready. The next piece is the one parents worry most about. What happens when the tears come and you're not there to fix it? Because every kid cries those first few weeks. It's what happens next that actually matters. That's part 2, and it's right here. I'll see you inside.